Everybody, good morning. It's Alison from Engli-teach. I hope you are all well on this wonderful Sunday and you're ready to learn some English. If you are, let me know where you're learning from. Where are you learning from? Who can tell me? Where are you learning from? Which country? Hello, Mohammed. Nice to meet you. Welcome to your lesson, live lesson today. If this is your first time, you can always register your details over at Engli-teach.com, where you can access the English Vault. What is the English Vault? The English Vault is where you can get lots of free resources. You can also pay and join our adult group speaking lessons here, which are a wonderful way to learn English. Okay, today we are going to be learning about adverbs of frequency, but we're going to be learning some different ones, not just the normal ones. So this will help you to expand your English language. Okay. Very good. So here we go. Let's get started on today's lesson. So the obvious adverbs that most people know are sometimes, always, frequently, often, and usually. These are the obvious adverbs of frequency. Now, what their function is to describe or to say how often an action happens. This is really important in communication, and it's one of the ways that you really are able to be a lot more specific with your English language. Often I can ask a question, when do you do that? When do you work? And often I will get a reply from learners of English, and they're not quite sure of their options of what they can say. So the obvious one here is, yes, I have sometimes overslept. So sometimes means that you can do this, but not always. Always would mean that you do something every time. Every day you do the same thing. So let me give you an example. I always have milk in my coffee. Okay, so we can use adverbs of frequency to describe lots of things. We can use them to describe routines, daily actions, verbs. Lots and lots of different ways. Hello, Ali. So let's have a look at another one. So we've done sometimes, we've done always. What about frequently? frequently, frequently. Do you go on holiday often? In an ideal world, yes, I love France and I go there frequently. Frequently. Okay? Another example. Do you wash your hair frequently? Bit of an odd question. But it just gives you the idea. Hello Chatora, hello Rim, hello Ali. Okay, often. We've done sometimes, always, frequently and often. And I have a few more for you as well. Who can give me a sentence using often? Who can give me a sentence using often? If you can, put it in the comments. Oh, thank you, Chatora. That's a kind comment. So we're looking at often. How could you use often in a sentence? Think that you are speaking to somebody in a conversation in English and you want to use the word often. How are you going to use it? Give me an example. Someone give me an example. Hello, Hatim. Hello, everybody. Okay. Very good. Karu. Lovely. Karu has given me an excellent example. Very good. So let's have a little look at that. I even. Let's get this in the right place. I often drink coffee. Me too. I love coffee. I'm a coffeeholic. I always have coffee. I drink too much coffee. It's not good for your teeth. But yes, well done. I always drink coffee. Well done. All right, somebody give me an example for usually. And well done, Karu. I need to get my little yay cheerers out here. Who can give me an example for usually? Usually. I or you can say, do you? Okay, hang on, we've got some more coming through here. Well done. Hatim says, I'm going to correct your spelling, Hatim, but well done. I don't often go to the cinema. Good, the word order is correct. That is perfect. Well done, excellent. And I sleep often later at night. Okay. Karu says, I usually go to bed at 8 p.m. Exactly. It's very early. I usually go to bed at 8, and I'm going to put 8 p.m. because we would probably say that. Chatora, I have just... Chatora has said to me, where is your Harry Potter mug? Very good. I don't have it on my desk. Today I have a grey one, and my son brought me some other coffee as well. I drink a lot of coffee. Too much coffee. Harry Potter will be come back tomorrow. I will bring Harry Potter tomorrow. Okay, excellent. Well done. All right, so now let's look at some more complicated complicated ones, longer, bigger words, because you guys all get this. So this is excellent. Everybody knows how to use these. This is great. Mohammed says, I go to travel usually to London. Okay, let me just help you with that one, Mohammed. Mohammed says, I go to, wrong comment, I go to travel usually to London. Okay, so Mohammed, I understand what you're saying, but there is an issue here with the word order, okay, with the word order. So let's just get that in the right place. So this is what that sentence should be. I usually travel to London. And I would add on to that, I usually travel to London on Mondays, or I usually travel to London by train. So with this type of sentence, we do need the extension on the end. I usually travel to London by train, okay? I usually travel to London. Now, the reason why we say this is because if you're speaking to someone and you say, I usually travel to London, there's something missing. I usually travel to London on Mondays, or I usually travel to London by train, or I usually travel to London for work purposes. So always look to qualify what you're saying in your English. That's a very helpful point. Usually I go to school these days in online. Okay, Chatura. No problem, Mohammed. Pleased to help. Okay, now let me have a look at this sentence here. Let's have a little look at this one here, which is usually I go to school these days in online. So again, this particular sentence has issues with word order, okay? So let's have a little look at what we can do to make this better. These days, usually, I go to school online. Okay? Can you see how we've inverted the words to bring more order and grammatical structure to the sentence? Usually I go to school these days in online. So this is definitely in the wrong place. And although you would understand this, I understand what you mean, it's not grammatically correct, but it is understood. Okay? All right, now we're going to look at a few different adverbs of frequency. Something a little bit different. So let's take away the easy peasy ones, because you've got that. And I'm going to replace it with these. Dun, dun, dun. Just when you thought it was too easy. Okay. All right. So we have infrequently, intermittently. Oh, the Londoners love this one, intermittently. I hear that a lot in London. normally, normally, occasionally. And listen to the pronunciation. There is lots of long and short vowel sounds. This one is definitely long. Occasionally. Okay, we're really stretching out those vowel sounds. Occasionally. Often. Often. Shorter. Often. Periodically. Periodically. There's 5 different sounds in syllable sounds in there. Periodically. Periodically. And rarely. Rarely. Again, rarely. It's quite a long vowel sound. Okay. Alison, Chatura. Okay, I'm going to go and look through the comments after. So let's continue. So infrequently, if you do something infrequently, what does that mean? If you do something infrequently, you don't do it very often, okay? You don't do it very often, okay? Infrequently. Infrequently is not an adverb of frequency that we would use very much, I have to say. It's not something we would use much, so I'm not really going to go over that too much. But we do use intermittently, hugely, especially in London and in big towns. Okay, so what does intermittently mean? Can anybody tell me? If you do, tell me in the comments and then I can see who is having a go. What does intermittently mean? Let me see. Any takers? Any takers? Let's go back to the comments. Any takers? No? Okay. So intermittently, would it help if I put the phonic up there as well? Phonemic, sorry. I'm going to put the phonemic spelling up here for this one. So intermittently, here, intermittently. And when you're learning to pronounce these longer words or a little bit more complex on a phonetic level, slow it down. Intermittently. And really focus on getting those letters pronounced perfectly. Intermittently. Okay, intermittently. So what does intermittently mean? So it is obviously an adverb and it means at irregular intervals, okay? At irregular intervals, not continuously or steadily, okay? And we'll quite often use this when we're talking about teams working together. They're working together intermittently. They're working together intermittently, which is almost a contradiction because we are saying they are working together. So you would think they're like this, working together. But then when we put intermittently, which is why it's important to understand what these mean, they are working together intermittently means they are working together as a team, but maybe at different rates, in different ways, and at different times, okay? Intermittently is also used a lot in city transport. For example, the London tubes or the London stations are always we are working together intermittently as a team to deal with the train delays, for example. We are working together intermittently to solve a problem is often how it is used, and that is why it is often a word, an adverb that's used a lot in business. We are intermittently working together to deal with a cancellation, for example. To deal with a cancellation, and you'll hear this in airports, etc., etc. Or when there are flight delays and all the rest of it. Okay. Excellent. All right, so let's go on to another one. I'm going to just answer some questions in between. Chitora says, how many languages do you speak? So I speak French, I speak English, I speak German, and I also learned Latin, although Latin is an ancient language now, so you read it. And I've also studied for years how to read hieroglyphs in Egyptian, but I cannot speak modern Egyptian. So I love ancient languages. So maybe I speak 3, but I've studied 5. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is normally. Normally. Again, this is used hugely in everyday English speech. When do you normally do that? When do you normally do that? I love horse riding. Oh, really? When do you normally do that? So these are real good conversational clinchers, okay? Clinchers. A clincher is when you lock something together. So to help people, to help a conversation flow, move backwards and forwards, which is what you need for a conversation, we often have a term called clinchers. Conversational clinchers. I love this. I could do a whole lesson on conversational clinchers. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to just note that. Conversational clinchers. Let me know if you would like me to do another lesson on conversational clinchers. Clinchers. I even love saying that word. Okay. So, all right, normally is an often used word. Okay, occasionally, occasionally, occasionally. What do we mean by occasionally? If you do something occasionally, you don't do it often. You do it, so you do it, you do something, but not often, okay? So who wants to give me an example of occasionally in use? Who wants to give me an example? Let me know. Ooh, it's quiet on the comments. Are you struggling with this one? Occasionally. Come on, be brave, be brave. Come on. Be brave and have a go at a sentence. That's the only way you're going to get better. Okay, you do something but not often. So, I'm going to give you one. I occasionally write in English, but not often. Oh my goodness. But not often. My English teacher says I must practice more. I must practice more. Yes, you must. Excellent, Karu. Karu says, I occasionally travel with my friends, and that is perfect, Karu. Mohammed Ali, I can't read comments in Arabic because I don't speak Arabic. So write it in English, not Arabic, because I don't understand Arabic. Okay, so I'm going to put Karu's comment up here. I occasionally travel with my friends. Great. You could say, I occasionally travel with my friends to Europe, or I occasionally travel with my friends in the summer. Always think of how you can extend your sentences to give more information that's useful to the person you are communicating with. Okay, often, so often. When you do something often, you do it regularly. Okay, you do something often. I'm going to put many times. You do something many times, and because of that, you normally do it. We would say regularly. Okay. So an example would be, I often buy my bread at the baker's. For some of you, that might be an odd statement, but nowadays, people buy most of their food in the supermarket. I love to support artisans, but it's always time. They never seem to be open after my teaching day is finished. Okay, I often buy my bread at the baker's. All right, periodically. I love this word, periodically. If you do something periodically, you do what? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Periodically. And practice that pronunciation. Periodically. I'm going to put up the spelling here for you. So, periodically. Okay, periodically. Who can give me an example of this? Periodically. Ooh. Periodically. So periodically means from time to time. Okay. And I could say something like, as an example, lessons are created periodically. Okay. So that might mean every week, every month, every day. Yes, Karu, we periodically make budgets for director's reference. You're missing in the indefinite article there, but the sentence is good. Let me put that up here. We periodically make budgets for, and here you should have the, for the director's reference. We periodically make budgets. So instead of saying make, what words could you use to take that up a level? Instead of just saying make, you could say we calculate, or we manage, or we forecast budgets for the director's reference. Okay, So that's taking, again, taking your sentence up to a higher level of English just by using one of these words, if they are appropriate. Okay? All right, well done. And the last one we have today is rarely. Rarely. Oh my goodness, rarely. Who can give me an example of rarely? Rarely. And again, practice that pronunciation. Rarely. If you do something rarely, what does it mean? If you do something rarely, you do not do something often. So you might do something, and again, rarely we're describing an action that isn't done very often and is not done regularly. So the prediction is it's a non-predictable action. Okay, a non-predictable action. So who can give me an example? Oh, good, Karu. I rarely eat meats is a very good example. Okay, so I rarely eat. Now, Karu has put meats, but actually, Karu, we would say meat. I know that's singular. It's a singular noun, but here it actually applies to all meats. I rarely eat meat would mean I don't eat any. I rarely eat any meats. Okay. I rarely wake up at 10. I like that one. Harim, very good. So I'm going to put that one up as well. I rarely wake up at 10. Very good, Harim. Any more questions? Any more examples even? Brain fraggle. Any more examples? I rarely eat meat. I rarely wake up at 10. I rarely do. Oh, Haseen, very good. Haseen says, rarely I travel abroad. Okay, so we need to change the word order here. I rarely travel abroad. Okay, I rarely travel abroad. Oh, hello, Karu. Okay. No, Karu. The minute. Okay. So let me. Okay, wonderful. Karu, I'm going to come to your comment in a moment. Very good. Well done. So thank you, everybody. We are almost at the end of that lesson. Look how much you've learned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 higher level adverbs on top of some more regular ones. So everybody has done really, really well. Karu says, I enrolled for the 7-day free challenge to get access. Do I need to pay? No, because it's free. Or is there any other way to complete the 7-day challenge? No, the minute you enroll, you get access to it, Karu. If you haven't, I'm going to go and have a look now, as long as you've registered with your right name, and check. It's all automatic. The lessons are obviously, you have to pay for those, the group lessons, the one-to-one lessons, but the 7-day free challenge is free. So you don't have to pay for that. Okay, everybody, that is the end of our lesson today. I hope it was useful to you and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, you can learn more by going along to Engli-teach.com, and you can get lots of extra free information there, and you can also join the group adult lessons of improving your spoken English. Lots of speaking. Thank you, Harim. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you again in a few days' time. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and take care. Goodbye.